And I'll keep an eye on the waiting room while Miss Tapia is speaking.
Okay, and then did I share yet, or are you
I can
guys still
see
waiting?
the schedule. Yeah.
You can see a chart?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. All right, so this is what I do when I work with students individually that need some help with either a study plan or time management. It works both ways. So what we have here is a sheet, and did I already send a copy of this to you, Ms. Lewicki? Or did I forget to do that? I said I would.
You didn't send it to me, but if you do,
Okay.
I will post it for them.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through what I do with a student. If there's anyone in the class that would like to volunteer so that I could I'll just do yours for you. But what the volunteering entails is I'm going to ask you questions like, when are your class times? If you work, what's your work schedule? And it would be better if the volunteer had a set work schedule, because a schedule that changes is more challenging. I will also ask you anything else that you do on a weekly basis. So that could be church, synagogue, mosque, temple, meal prep. Maybe you always go to Bucks games on Sunday when, in the fall. Maybe the family always gets together on Saturday and does a dinner together. Maybe you go to the gym. So it could be just before you volunteer, you might want to think, is there anything in your schedule that maybe you don't want to share with the whole class? Then don't volunteer. But if you're cool with any of that, then I'd be happy to have a volunteer, and I'll do your schedule for you and to show the class how we do it. Anybody? You're going to make me make stuff up. All right, I'll make stuff up.
Let me get my schedule. Let me get my work schedule.
Oh, good. Herbert, you're ready to do it. That's perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So as Ms. Lewicki and I were talking about, I will take this this worksheet and I will send it to her so that you guys have it available. You'll just need to print it out. Or if you are Excel savvy, you could do it on the computer like I'm going to do for you now. Typically, I do it on a piece of paper and I get to color while you guys tell me your schedule. I just use different highlighters. I do also have a step-by-step instructions of what I'm doing today. So don't worry about taking notes and saying, okay, what did she do first? What did she ask them next? Because I have it all written down. I just didn't want to do a split screen for you. I wanted the focus to be on the worksheet. Okay, so I will send the step-by-step instructions also to Ms. Lewicki. All right, so Herbert, are you ready then? Okay.
Okay.
So
yes, I am, ma'am.
Perfect. Why don't you just go ahead and leave your sound on, and everyone else can take it off so that it's not, so there aren't some disturbing noises in the background. And Herbert, what is your class schedule? On Mondays, when do you have class?
Okay. Mondays, I have essentials with Ms. Dobbs at 9 to 11.
Okay. Whoops. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. See, I am not
That
as tech-savvy.
color is pink.
What color is pink? Your
Ms.
class?
Dobbs. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you want pink for her instead?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Canvas, their grids, like when they look at Canvas, it'll come out as a specific color.
It's like purple, the purple one on the end, Miss.
Maybe this. This is kind of a Pepto-Bismol pink. Is that going to be okay?
Purple. That one. That's good.
That's good? Okay. So let me take this one out. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This will be fun. I'm going to just have so much fun. Okay. You guys are going to watch me mess up a lot because I am not good on this. All right. So you said 9 to 11. All right. So there's 9, 10, 11 and noon. No, 11. 8 to 9. So 9, 10, 9 to 11, 2 hours. Yeah. All right. So there we go. And we'll make it pink. All right. What other days and times?
I have critical thinking
Mm-hmm.
on Mondays from 1 to 3.
Okay. And
What color do you want critical thinking?
Critical thinking. Let's do orange. Or
okay.
blue.
And it's just 2 hours. It starts at 1 and ends at 3.
Oh, 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
1.
1. No
Let's do
fill.
green.
And you want what color did you say?
Green. Green. Let's do green.
Green. Okay. There you go. All right. What's another day or time for a class?
Okay. On Tuesday, I have concepts of mental health with the Miss Gotti from 9 to 11.
And what color should that be?
Red.
Okay. And any other class times?
And yes. And then family nursing.
Uh-huh.
It's Tuesday from 1 to 3. Orange. I don't know.
Orange again?
Yellow.
Typically,
Yellow.
yellow. All right. So typically, I don't make all these different.
Mm-hmm.
I make classes all the same color. And what you could do is you could put like, you know, an E for essentials or a C for critical thinking or something like that, because we may run out of colors because there's other things we're going to do.
Okay.
So you're going to know what these are. Typically what I do at the bottom is in green, I would come here and write, what was the green class?
The green class was critical thinking.
All right, so I would come down here and write like critical thinking and then maybe make it green so we would remember. All right, so we would remember that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's what these dashes are down here. It's for you. And typically, like if I've colored with a marker, then I just write critical thinking in the green marker here. And that's how I know what my colors are. Okay, so this is your class schedule. What's your work schedule?
Oh, I still have my.
I don't think that completely covers his class schedule.
Oh, okay.
They have clinical and they have lab.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So, no problem. So clinicals is when?
Luigi. Clinicals is on, well, one is on Wednesday, on Wednesdays from 8:30 to 11. We have essentials lab.
Okay, so what color should that be?
That pink, same color.
Gotcha. Okay, and what else?
And then where the lab? Okay, on Thursdays we have some people have PEDS or OB.
That's okay. What's your schedule? And then they can adjust theirs accordingly.
For family nursing lab.
Okay,
and,
what time?
Nursing. Oh, yeah, on Thursday it's from let's see, it's 10 to 1. I'm not sure. She tells us.
Okay, and what color should that be?
That should be the yellow one.
Okay, gotcha. All right, anything else for class for the week? Do you have a lab?
On Fridays,
okay.
Another lab 10 to 5. 10 to 5 mental health.
What color?
Red.
Like that? Okay. So do you have, we didn't do any lab or clinicals for this green class, so that's probably missing, yes?
No labs or clinical for this class.
Okay. All right, so then is that everything class-wise? Anything that has to do with school? Labs, clinicals, simulations, and okay, perfect. So then your work schedule.
My work schedule? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I work on Wednesdays.
Okay.
From 7 to 7.
7 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what color do you want that to be?
I don't know. We don't have blue. Blue.
Okay. And until 7 a.m. the next day. Got it. All right. And the next work schedule? Or is that it?
No. Let me see. On Fridays, same.
Same thing, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Boop. That's the sound effects of the Excel coloring. Boop. All right, so that's Friday to Saturday, right? Any other days?
And Saturdays. Well,
same thing, 7 to 7?
It's gonna change. Put Sunday instead. I'm sorry. Saturdays I go to church. Sundays.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I should have turned
Sunday
my phone off.
from 7 to 7.
7 p.m. to a.m. also? Or a.m. to p.m. on Sunday?
7 a.m. No, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
On Sunday.
So, and on Saturday from, okay, that's it. That's my work schedule.
Okay, hold on. Let me get back to Monday because we have to block
you can
off
erase,
this.
oh no. On a 5 on Saturday, you can put, I go to church.
At 5 o'clock? Okay, to what?
5 p.m. To 7 or 8, I go to church.
All right, I'm gonna err on the side of caution and do, oh wait, I did 4. Okay, 5, I'm gonna go ahead and do till 8, okay? And what color would you like that?
Okay.
You got all these colors here. What color would you like?
Black.
Black? Okay.
Yes, I remember.
All right, I was probably gonna make that sleeping, but that's okay. We'll get another one for sleeping. All right, so again, you would come down here at the bottom and you would put everything in and color code it so that you would remember what everything is, but I'm not gonna take up the class's time with that. So is there anything else you do on a weekly basis that we need to schedule in here? Some things that I've heard from students is, family dinner time, like with the whole family, or meal prepping, or this is the time that I grocery shop for my grandmother or great-grandmother. So there are different things like that. So anything else you can think of on a weekly basis?
I do that.
You either froze or I can't hear you.
Well, if we do any meals, it's on Saturdays.
For family?
Yeah.
Okay. So about when to when, so we know how many hours to block out?
Either before church we get together and then after church.
On Sunday or Saturday?
On Saturday.
Okay. So where is it most likely, or where would you like me to block it out?
Okay. From noon to 3.
And I'll just make that black too, because it's kind of family and church kind of go together. Okay.
And then from 6 to 8 or 5 to 8.
Yeah, we've got the 5 to 8. Okay. Perfect. All right, so my next question is, and this is going to be a very hard schedule to do. Thanks, Herbert. All right.
Welcome to my life.
Yeah, welcome to your life. Okay, so let's start with the easy ones. On Tuesday, what time do you set your alarm for to get up?
On Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
I set my alarm.
Now, while he's thinking, here's the reason I ask what time his alarm is set for. I'm not asking what time he gets up. Here's why. My alarm is set for 5:30 when there's no COVID and I'm going to work, set for 5:30. Do I jump out of bed at 5:30? No, because I'm not a morning person. I hit the snooze button probably 12 times. All right, so am I probably...
It depends if I have a quiz or test, I get up around 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Why? Is that to study for it more?
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello?
If it depends, yes, it depends on if I have a homework or I have a test, or I get up early and study.
Okay,
So
here's
I
a
might get
little
up.
here's a little something for the whole class. If you have any kind of test anxiety, you should not study or review the morning of a test or even the night before the test. Big, big, big thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Studying the night before and studying the morning of is really not going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few people that are actually helped by that, and there's research that supports that. You are better off, and scientifically the research supports that you are better off getting your rest than you are for doing more studying. If you're studying the night before or the morning of, it usually means you don't feel prepared. Sometimes it means that's the only time in your schedule you had, and I get that. And if that's the case, then there's other things that you and I could work together with. And when I'm saying you, this is plural to the entire class. We could work together and find ways to get you that rest. Okay. So again, let's go back to why I ask about the alarm. The alarm wakes me up at 5:30, even though I may not be getting out of bed until 5:45 or maybe 6 o'clock. The alarm woke me up at 5. My sleeping stopped at 5. We need to have 7 to 9 hours of sleep every night to function as human beings, to function accurately as human beings, okay? So some people don't need a lot of sleep, that's the 7. Some people do the average 8, and then there's some people like me that like the 9. I'm a 9er, I admit it. So at this point, you would want to, so say again, if you're not, how do you want me to do this then, Herbert? On a day you do have a test or quiz, or on a day you don't? And then you could just adjust it accordingly.
I use it for lab, like stuff I had to do, like labs or evolve or,
okay.
These things that I need to get done.
Right. So what time do you usually get up on Tuesday?
Alarm wakes me up at 5.
5 a.m.?
I get up at 6.
All right. Alarm wakes you up at 5. Okay. So here's what we're going to do.
5:30 around, and then I get up at 6, really.
All right. So is the alarm 5 or 5:30?
The alarm is 5:30.
Okay. So I don't know how to do, see this square right here with the line through it diagonally? This is typically how I would represent a half an hour, but I don't know, I mean, that's just an added line, so I don't know how to color these separately in Excel. So I'm just going to go from 5 just to keep it simple, or maybe from 6 just to keep it simple. And would you say you are a 7, 8, or 9er on the sleeping? If you had
6.
No, 6, not a choice.
Oh, wait a minute.
7, 8, or 9?
Herbert, what she's asking you is what time do you go to bed in order to
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not asking
in
that.
In order to get 7 hours of sleep.
Right. So, yeah, that's what we're trying to
figure
figure out.
Week.
Right. And that we're going to do each day of the week, Herbert. So would you prefer, in your perfect world, 7 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep, or 9 hours of sleep?
We're on Mondays.
We're
on Monday.
We're not working on Monday right now.
Okay.
Let's just talk about Tuesday. When you get up on Tuesday, right? You said you get up at about 5:30, right?
That's right.
All right, so we're going to block this square in. I'm going to use a deep blue.
Brown, oh, that's
okay,
good.
I can use brown. That's no problem. Where's brown at? I don't know that I have a brown.
I don't know. One of those next to
that's
it.
That's a yucky. That's as close as I can get.
Yeah.
All right, so there's 1 hour. So, again, I'm rounding up by 30 minutes because I don't know.
That's fine.
I can only block out a whole cell. So there's 1 hour. So now we're going to come back. That was Tuesday morning. So here's Tuesday night. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to give you 7 hours because you said 6. So you can't get 6 anymore. Okay. Here's why, guys. All right. Here's why. When we get less than 7 hours of sleep every night, we lose memory, we lose recall, we lose concentration, we lose focus. Our stress and anxiety is increased. We are tired, but we can't sleep. So if you're having any of those problems, if a student comes to me and says, hey, I really need help with concentration, I just can't concentrate, there's something wrong with my memory, I just don't know. Usually it's because they're not getting enough sleep. The number one way I get our students to perform better is by getting you the sleep. I know it's hard to believe. I know it's like, wait a minute, that's wasted time. No, it's not. Is it wasted time for a baby to sleep? Would you keep a baby up 24 hours? No, because you know that's when they're growing. They're growing their brain, their kidney, their liver, their heart, their fingers, their fingernails, their eyelashes. Would we take that time away from them to develop those things correctly? But as adults, we do that to our own selves. We hinder our own brain and our physical health. Everything I mentioned is just what affects your scores and my job in making you better. But when we don't get 7 to 9 hours sleep, you're also at greater risk for obesity. You're at greater risk for autoimmune problems, for diabetes, and for heart disease. None of that sounds good. And if any of you have children or grandchildren or family you love, you want to be around for them. We've got to get that sleep. Please, please, please. Okay? So that's so there you go. On Monday night, you have until 11 p.m. 11 p.m. would be your bedtime on Monday night in order to get up at 6. So you're probably going to have to adjust that a little bit, Herbert, on your own copy, okay?
All right.
With the half-hour slash.
Okay.
All right, so now we got to do this for every day. So on Monday, here's the problem with this schedule of daytime classes and these 12-hour shifts at night. So let's stick with the easy ones. On Wednesday, when do you set your alarm for?
Wednesday is the same.
Okay.
5:30.
Okay, so again,
6.
okay, I'm just gonna round it up to 6 to be easier on the Excel. And so here, whoops, what did I do? There we go. And so there's your 7 hours there. So 11 o'clock again on Tuesday night. Another easy one then is Friday. When would you set your alarm for Friday?
Friday the same.
Okay.
6 in your case, 6.
Okay. And Sunday, what do you do? Do you set an alarm for Sunday?
Yes, I do.
Okay. What time?
Same, 5:30. Try to keep it consistent.
Okay, and that is important. I know sometimes though we like our sleep-in days too, so that can happen. I don't ever judge on your schedule. Wait a minute. So we need Thursday and Sunday. So we need this and this. Here we go. Everybody's schedule is unique. And I don't judge. I just help you modify it to make it the best schedule for you. So now here's the challenge that we're at with Herbert's schedule, working these 12-hour overnight shifts, is we have to look at this. He's going to get home. So on Sunday, you're going to get up at 6, but do you take a little nap before going to work here since you're going to be at work for 12 hours?
Yeah, I
and
do.
Then
I do a 5, a 4 or 5. I take a nap.
at 4, between 4 and 5?
Yeah.
You say is a nap?
Yeah,
Okay.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, 4 to 6.
4 to 6? Okay, let's do that. 4 to 6. Let's pick another color. Oh, well, that's nap time. So we'll keep it that same color. Where was my nap time? Was
It's
it
in
that?
it's in your pail on the top. You
It's
can
do
hit
what?
the pail again.
Oh, like this?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Thank you. All right, so you take a little nap there. So then you go to work. And
That's
when
gonna
you
change in July. I'm gonna go to two days a week schedule.
Okay. All right. So we can, just print out a second sheet and change it in July. Okay. But for right now, we'll just follow this. So when you get home on Monday, do you just stay up until this class?
Both classes.
Okay. And then you're going to probably want a nap, but then then you got to remember you need to get to bed by 11.
Yeah.
So what can you do in here with a nap to make you feel better? But still
4 to 6.
Okay.
4 to 6 nap.
Okay. All right. So if I go back up here, then we're getting up at, about 5:30 on Tuesday, and that's going to be pretty normal. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to wake up the next day. You're going to go through your classes. So are you going to want the nap again here before this work time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then what do you do here? Do you just power through?
For next month, I won't have a Sunday work schedule.
No, that's Saturday.
Yes.
I mean, that's Friday, actually.
That's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you will have a Friday or you won't?
No. I will have a Friday. For next month, I won't have a Sunday. I'm gonna go 2 days a week.
All right. Okay. So then, where do we have it? So you go to bed here, you wake up here, and you have all of this, and you probably don't have time to nap here, right? And how long does it take you to drive to work?
4 minutes.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then when you get off of work on Saturday, once again, you're going to be tired, but you need to go to bed at 11 for your 7 hours. So are you going to take a little nap right in here somewhere?
Yes.
Before family time?
I really get out at 7. I work 7:30 really.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So are you home by 8?
Saturday, and this is. Yeah, I will sleep a few hours.
Okay, so like 8 to 10
Saturday.
or 8 to 11?
Yeah. From 8 to, depending if we have any activity at home or not. Sometimes I sleep until 3. If we don't have anything on the first,
okay.
I'll sleep all those until 3.
All right, but if you do have the block, then when do you get up?
I get up at 11 to noon block right there.
Okay. So that's good. So either way, this is all blocked. Either you're napping at all or you're napping and then having family time, right? And then more family in church and then sleep. So I think we've got, it's hard to say when I can't see this. See if I can do this. Yeah,
That's my schedule.
So, and normally another color that I would use is what it takes you to get up and get ready, whatever your morning routine is, breakfast, maybe some, quiet time, devotional time, meditation, whatever, and drive time. But since you're not driving because school is online, and since your work is 4 minutes away, we're not having to block that out, okay? But I would also block that out if you did have travel time. So now that we've got every square filled in on what we do, whether it's a responsibility or a necessity like sleeping or napping, right? We've got all the white squares on each day that are free. So the next step I do is I count the white squares or the blank squares for each day. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I would come down here, and at the bottom, I would write 10. Okay? Actually, let's center that. I get a little weird about it. Okay. And then this one might be the same number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, 11, 12, 13. 13. All right, so what I do now is I just add them up for each day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. It's a lot easier when it's just on paper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Come on. Six. And I think that was 11. I may have miscounted a little bit. All right, so what we have now across the bottom is how many hours you have free, and trust me, I'm using little air quotes because I know there's lunch and dinner in there. I know there's maybe cooking. I know those of you that have kids, you know, there's stuff to do. So I use the term free very loosely, okay? And definitely not insultingly at all. So what I would do now is add these up. So 10, somebody who's good at math
23.
or that has a calculator handy, you want to add all these up for me?
23, 31.
10, 20, 30, 40.
Looks like about 64.
Thank you.
40, 44, 44, 50, 56.
You can actually
66.
get Excel to do it, Donna.
Oh.
Just highlight them, and in the eye thing, highlight
Oh, that's
them.
right.
Like this?
Yeah, click the button next to it, like the square next to it, the square next to it.
Uh-huh.
You missed a 10.
And do what?
Click the square in the eye. It is I-26. Click the square. No, the cell next to it. Don't click that. All right.
Okay, wait
so
a minute.
here's
highlight this.
No, just click right there, right beside the 11. Click beside the 11. And if you just, I'll just tell you the formula.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'll tell you the formula. Put the equal sign.
Mm-hmm.
Equal time, sum, S-U-M, parenthesis,
You can put the
and then B26 colon B or H26 and close parenthesis.
That's these cells.
And there you go.
67. All right. So we will just delete that one. And we will
so that was your little Excel lesson bonus.
Yeah. All right. So I'm still going to, that's off the page. So I'm still going to move it down here. Let's do that. And I'll take that one out now. Okay, so you have 67 basically free hours throughout the week. How many credit hours are you taking right now?
Oh my God, I have to start adding. I don't remember.
It's about 10 they take.
Okay,
Thank
so here's the deal. It is a known college average that basically for every 1 credit hour we take of a class, we should be spending approximately 3 hours outside of that class working on class stuff. So that's not just studying, it's pre-reading, it's entry tickets, it's assignments, homework, projects, papers, research, and studying, okay? So if you're taking about 10 hours, that would be 30 that we'd be looking at.
That's per week?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make that a little different color. So that's what we wanna focus on, is getting that 30 hours somewhere in there. So, but here's the good news. With 3 12-hour shifts, getting his 7 hours sleep, having time with his family, going to church, and doing all of his classes and clinicals, he's only going to take out 30 hours out of the 67. Less than half of that free time is going to be devoted to being successful for school. 37 hours are actually free. Okay? So on average, that's about 5 hours a day free, right? 7 times 5. So what I do now is I take this number of 30 and I go back up to the top, and then on the real paper there's not this A, B, C, D, H. So let me just add a column. And what I do up here is then I say, all right, now let's split up that 30 hours. We have 30 hours and we have 7 days, but let's look at Herbert's Saturday. Or let's go down to these numbers. Yeah, his Friday and Saturday have the least amount of hours available, right? So if we just blanketly say, hey, 30 hours, 7 days, that's about 4 hours a day, right? 4 times 7 is 28. But these days are going to be crunched to get 4 hours in. And these days, 11, 13, 13, and 10, would be better for more studying because there's more free time available. So we might not want to split it up evenly for a day. So this is where I would ask a student, Herbert, on Friday and Saturday, looking at this schedule, how much study time do you actually want to put in? And let me see if I can move this and show you here.
So you top of Friday?
Yeah, there's the top of Friday. So you've got 4 hours in the morning, then you've got this long commitment, and then you've got 2 hours before going to work. So how much feasibly in reality, not what you think I want to hear, not what you think Miss Lewicki wants to hear, what can you actually commit to for studying on Friday?
8 to 9 maybe. I start working.
Okay, so 2 hours? Is that what you're saying? So I'm going to put a 2 there on top of Friday. All right. Yeah. So we had 30 hours. Now we actually have 28 hours. We only took away 2. So let's get 28 hours between 6 days now, right? Or we can look at it again. So let's look at Saturday because that was your other lowest day. How many hours can you feasibly put into Saturday? You've got 3 hours in the evening, 2 hours in the middle of the day, and
maybe
1 hour
I
in
get
the
to
morning.
bed.
9 till bedtime? So another 2 hours?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to put a 2 here. So we said on average 4 hours a day. So that means there's 2 days we've lost 4 hours somewhere. So we have to add more time to these. So if we go here, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. All right, so where are we going to put this extra 4 hours here?
Oh, we should select another color for study time, right?
We can, but here's the thing. I don't marry you to a specific time. We just look at what's the best. So it's best for you to squeeze in 2 hours here. So one day you might feel like squeezing it in here. Another day maybe you don't wake up feeling so great and you'd rather squeeze it in here. Okay, so I don't actually color in when you're going to study. I don't get that strict with it. If you want to be that strict with your schedule, then feel free to do it. Otherwise, I just kind of put up here how much you need to make sure you devote each of those days.
Okay.
So this does not add up to 30. We're still a little shy. So which of these other days are you willing to study more than 4 hours?
Well,
And
Sunday.
And if you look at the bottom, here's where you've got the most time. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So where do you think it would be best to put, see, these 13 and 13, it might be best on these 2 days, is my suggestion, but that doesn't mean that's what you're comfortable with.
Okay.
So what do you think would work best for you?
I'll put some in Sunday.
Okay, so we'll change
in the
this.
afternoon.
Okay, so how much more? 2 more?
We could do 2 or 4. Sometimes, I don't know. We can do.
Well, it's already at 4. So are we going to add 2 more and have 6?
Yes.
Okay. And then what other day do you want to do that?
Maybe Thursday.
Okay.
Excuse
All
me.
right. Yeah?
Herbert, Friday's clinical is only 1 more week for us. And then he'll be done with Friday.
Oh, perfect.
So if you want to rewrite it for that, just saying.
Oh, so this Friday is the last one?
For the ones that started in the A group for psych.
Oh.
So that opens up that whole day for him.
Yeah. Great idea. Thanks,
Sorry,
John.
but I'm okay.
No, that's great. That's a great vision. Okay. So what he's saying is by the end of this week, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours is going to be free. So this 2 here could be a 4, could go back to being a 4.
Our
And
last
then
clinical is at 6:19. When is that? Next week?
yeah, today's the 14th, I think, isn't it? Or 15th?
Yeah,
Today's
it's Friday.
15th.
It's Friday, Herbert.
All right. So what we've got now, though, is do you see how we manipulated these numbers? So we do have a total of 30 right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 times 4. Well, let's see. 4 times 4, 16, and 12. Yeah, sure. Somebody tell me that adds up to 30. All right. So now he's got his 30 hours a week of studying. He has his 7 hours a night of sleeping, and he has all his classes and his work. So he's got all, and his family time and church. So we planned it out. Now we just stick with a plan. The best thing about these, aside from helping you stick to a plan, is I can't tell you the number of students that go away so excited that they can show this to a spouse or maybe some middle school or high school children that they have. Put this on the refrigerator and say, this is my schedule, people. So I need your help. This is not just me saying, ooh, I'm in school. Ooh, I'm in school. I need your help. No, here's a visual. I need help. Someone's going to have to cook dinner, not me. Someone's going to have to clean up the dinner, not me. It's my job to eat it, but it's somebody else's job to cook it and clean it because I've got to devote this time to be successful, and I'm doing this for us as a family. So you need to get a family commitment. Okay? All right, so any questions on the schedule? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the actual steps, like for example, here's how it reads. Sit down with the chart and at least 4 to 6 different colors, markers or highlighters. Second step, use one color for your classes. This includes your labs and clinical. So typically I only do one color for all of these. But if your problem is more about organization than time management, then it would be better to have it color coded, because then you'd know what course was your priority for studying during those hours. Make sense? Then we use a different color for the other commitments. Then we go to marking the time that you set your alarm for, and then counting backwards from that time for the 7, 8, or 9 hours that you feel would be best for you. And then again, for example, if Herbert's drive to work was an hour, then this square and this square and this square would be colored in, right? Because that would be his drive time. That's not free, he's driving. Okay, so that would be the only difference in someone else's schedule, but since it's only like 4 minutes away, we didn't bother coloring that in. So is there any other questions or something I can help with regarding time? Or since I'm here, do you want to ask me, or do you want me to share with you, and this is completely up to you, Ms. Lewicki, with the time we have, some of the general study techniques that also help all students regardless of what their challenges are?
I would say that's up to them, but
Okay.
before you move on to that, for some of you that do have a longer drive time, or maybe one day school's going to go back in and you're going to have to wait in the card line for your kids or whatever, you can use, like most instructors post voice over PowerPoint, so you can actually use your drive time as study time, because you can listen to the voice over PowerPoints during that time. Just
absolutely
that in there. That's one way to actually, even if you've done all the reading and you feel fully prepared, sometimes listening to it a couple of times really helps to enforce that.
Absolutely, and some of you are more audio than visual, so listening to it would be better than reading it. It doesn't mean you're a bad reader, it just means your learning style is different. Okay, there's,
Yeah, so before you go into study tips, let me just share my screen for 1 minute, because I told them that they're on their calendars. I just want to pull up the class before I do that. On their Canvas page, most of us have posted our assignments on the calendar, and so they can marry what you just did with them with their assignments. I'm just trying to find the right where I just had it. Okay. I think that's the right one. By taking the calendar, where did mine go? Now I'm on. I had it open, but now it's behind you guys. So hang on a second. Reload the site. All right, something happened to mine. I got all eager, and there you go.
I'm glad to see this happens to somebody other than me.
Is Canvas down? Has anybody been on Canvas?
I have not been on Canvas today.
Let me see if...
Canvas is working.
Okay. Well, my Wi-Fi is working because we haven't lost our meeting. Try that. There we go. All right, so over here on the left side, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so over here on the left side where you just pick this calendar, where each course has a calendar built in. If you pick this calendar, then now you're only going to see my class because that's the only class I'm in, if it opens for us here. But you should be able to see once it populates. I got to move you on my screen here. Summer. Where is summer? Let me just pick this. Here, I'm telling you this all works, and it's not working for me right now. I got spring. Here's summer, but it's, I don't know why it's that. Apply. Let me give it a color. Sorry. So, in theory, if you click that button, it should, I'm clicking away and it's like not happy with me. In theory, if you click the button or click your class, it should show all of your classes is what I'm getting at. It'll come into the bigger calendar.
Ms. Ludwicki, you want me to show mine? I mean.
Sure, if you want to share your screen, let me, I'll stop sharing and you should be able to share your screen. Since you're sharing everything about your life right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, how do I do this?
On the bottom, there should be a share screen, and then you have to pick whether you're in Canvas, I mean in Chrome or Firefox or whatever.
Share screen.
There you go.
And then I can go.
Because I know you guys have a lot of assignments, and I also know that you have,
see that?
Not yet.
After you open it, you have to hit share screen and then click on it. Click on the document.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, so open your Canvas.
Oh. You want to hit calendar here?
Yep.
I like this feature right here.
Yeah.
See it?
Yep.
My reminders. I love this because it reminds me when's my next.
Right. So yeah,
meeting.
if you click your calendar over there, you'll see that every assignment that's upcoming should be in there. I will say that there's still two missing from critical thinking, but you can see it's in different colors and your key is over here on the right side of your screen. So you could even print that off a week at a time or 2 weeks at a time, marry it with the document you just did with Miss Tapia, and that will help keep you in sync.
Nice.
You could even match your colors to this so that you know.
Perfect. That's awesome.
There you go. So that is great. So everybody kind of know how to do that, right?
How do you
No,
print it
I
off
tried. I
at a
couldn't
time?
get to it.
Yeah, can you just walk us through the steps, Miss Lewicki?
You sound like a robot now.
Who, me? Am I the robot?
How do you print it off a week at a time?
So am I the one sounding like a robot before we move on?
Not to me.
Oh, it's Mrs Tapia.
Okay, all right. So I keep trying to move Herbert's screen up and I can't because it's not my screen. So Herbert, go to the top of the page. Okay, so you see that I'm going to move you guys so I can see it better. You pick week, go to week. All right, and so if Herbert were to say click the 3 dots up in the right hand corner, keep going up, keep going up, keep going, click this right above that. Whoops, over to the right, by your picture up there, Herbert. Go up.
Right under the X.
Right under the X. Yeah, thank you. Click the 3 dots there. All right, Herbert's having trouble. So if you click the 3 dots, it should, one of the choices should be print. But
Herbert,
the other thing you can do is you can make it a little smaller so you can see the, there you go. So you can see the whole screen. You don't have to go through print here, but then you could just do a snippet of it or take a picture of it with your phone or anything like that. The other thing, what Herbert liked was that everything was listed. If you click agenda, Herbert, click agenda, it's going to come out in an itemized list with what's due first and in what class. It's probably not going to have the link directly to the assignment, but you see how that says, so today, right now, we're in our meeting, and then due at 10 o'clock tonight is your exam. Forgot that you had an exam in Essential Concepts today. I would have scheduled this a different time, but you see that that's there. And Herbert already did his Evolve case study, so it's marked out. Or I'm assuming he did because it's marked out. So that's another way you could print it. You want to always make sure it's updated because I just told you critical thinking. I know I still have 2 assignments I have to put on there that I haven't done yet. Okay. So Ms. Tapia offered some general study tips, and somebody, I want to say, who was it? I got to look at my pictures. I think it was Monica who said, yes, she wanted to hear general study tips. So
Okay.
I'll turn it back. I'll mute myself and turn it back over to her.
All right. And Herbert, can you unshare your screen, please? I think if you go back into, there we go. All right. Okay. So real quick, I already told you that to increase your memory and concentration and focus and decrease stress and anxiety is getting that sleep. So that's why this time chart is so important, right? So now that I have been with health sciences and helping you guys for almost 3 years, I have more statistics on what works and what doesn't. And the top 3 things that work that I've come to call the trifecta, one is getting your sleep. The second thing is what's called the Pomodoro technique. And the Pomodoro technique is based on the fact that our brains only concentrate with us for 30 minutes at a time. So I'm going to share another screen with you guys. Let me see if I can find. Let's get out of there. I may have to exit full screen and get into my documents. Okay, and back to Zoom, Zoom, and more. Oh, okay, so how do I, there we go, share screen, and where are we? There we go. Perfect. All right, so everyone should be seeing a graph now that says 1.5 hours of studying, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so from left to right, this is a time frame of 1 hour and 40 minutes. And these are 2 different students that are studying. So typically, we all start out as this yellow student. So we sit down to study, and an hour and 40 minutes or 2 hours or 3 hours or 8 hours later, we stop. Here's the problem. After 30 minutes, our brain left. Here's our brain leaving. So we studied actually for 30 minutes and we wasted an hour and 10. And it's during this time right here when your brain is all the way gone, this is when you're having to reread things 2 and 3 times and it's still not making sense. Or you're re-listening to the PowerPoint and it's still not making sense. And you start to go down this really bad rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe this really just isn't for me. I know it's something I felt like I wanted to do, but maybe I can't do it. And the problem is that that's not true. It's just that your brain left. You have a brain, you're very intelligent, but it's just not there right now. So with the Pomodoro technique, and by the way, it was discovered many years ago, but the University of Michigan studied it with all of their freshmen and sophomores to confirm that yes, the brain only studies for that long, up until 60 hours of college. After that, it starts to increase if you've been consistently in college. So if you want to know if yours is adjusted, needs to be adjusted, then just send me an email and say, hey, I've got a bachelor's in this or a master's in this, and I graduated here, this year and that year. And we can determine if this can be stretched out a little bit. But typically, 30 minutes. So with Pomodoro, once the University of Michigan was like, confirmed that, the students were like, hey, we've got way more than 30 minutes of material to study, so something's got to give. So they found that a 5-minute break brings the brain back. 5 minutes. Please make it a full 5 minutes. Don't type Amy with 4.5. It needs to be a full 5 minutes. And when you do that, your brain comes back. So what we're going to be now is this green student. We're going to study for 30 minutes, take this 5-minute break. Our brain comes back. We learn another 30 minutes of material, take a 5-minute break. Our brain comes back. We learn another 30 minutes of material. So by taking these 2 5-minute breaks, you have now tripled your learning. The yellow student learned 30, the green student learned 30, 60, 90, and didn't get frustrated. Okay, so aside from that, what you want to do is do this for a total of 2 hours. That would be 4 study sessions. And after 2 hours of studying, you want to take a longer break, 20 to 30 minutes. And then you go on repeating it, 30 on, 5 off, 30 on, 5 off, 30 on, 5 off, 30 on, 5 off, 20 to 30 minute break. Make sense? So that's the Pomodoro technique. I can also send that in a visual for you guys on how to do that with the pattern, 30 on, 5 off, and so on, and I've got it color-coded for you. So the third thing in the trifecta is some study music that I suggest for you guys, and I have some links to, and I can get those to Miss Lewicki as well to share with you. These music links are music that has alpha waves either composed in them or embedded in them. I don't know the terminology, the accurate terminology. But what happens is we do not hear those alpha waves, but our brain does, because they're sound waves, right? So perfect for the beach behind me, right? We've got these waves. Well, these waves in the music, our brain hears them. And what happens is our brain matches them. And so what ends up happening is our brain is now functioning on alpha state, because those alpha waves put our brain in alpha state. Alpha state is a condition of greater concentration and focus. It's where our brain is more like this. Typically, without alpha state, we stay up here. This is our frontal lobe, and this is where we remain in fight or flight. And that's great. We stayed alive for 2 millennia for frontal lobe. But that's because it's fight or flight. That's when we see something in peripheral vision and our frontal lobe can say, run from that, or you're safe. It's just a piece of paper falling. Oh no, it's a bee coming at me, or it's a bear or a tiger, right? But we don't have bears and tigers when we're studying. So we don't need to be here. We need to be here. So students that use the alpha wave music find that they focus and concentrate better. Okay? That's the trifecta. I have a bunch more stuff, so if there's anything else you'd like me to help with, please just contact me and we'll set up a time to find out what your specific needs are, and I tailor the strategies and techniques to your personal needs. Okay, the trifecta is the only thing that I just tell everybody. Everything else is based on what are your challenges and what strategies and techniques do I have that will help those. Anyone have any questions? All right. So my email is D for Donna, Tapia, T-A-P-I-A, like tapioca, the number 2 like peace, whoops, peace, and that's at hccfl.edu, just like all your other instructors. You can also contact me on Canvas. If you have added to my Canvas page, then you can contact me through Canvas as well.
Why don't you email me that how to contact you or how to join your Canvas page, Ms. Tapia, and
Sure.
then I'll post that with all the directions.
Sure. Now you guys were, you're LPN to RN, right? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I will. It's very simple. You email me and say, hey, I'd like to be part of your Canvas. I send you an invitation and you accept it. It's that simple, but I will put that in writing to you guys. So Ms. Lewicki, I'm going to send the bulleted list of how to fill out the timesheet. I'm going to send a blank timesheet, and I'm going to send the full pattern color-coded of the Pomodoro technique. I'll send the links to the music, and I'll send the instructions on getting into my Canvas page. Anything else I can do for you guys? All right, let me know if there's ever anything I can do for you.
Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. I love it. No problem.
Yeah. So thanks for doing this. And hopefully this will help them. And if you can send that to me today, I was just about to tell the class that I have my surgery tomorrow. So I want to get all of this posted for you guys tonight. And so, but I'm available if you need anything except for tomorrow when I'm having surgery.
Okay. Yes, I will get that to you within the next, 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Thanks for doing this.
All right.
All right,
Yeah,
class,
you're so welcome.
if you want to hang around for a minute, I'll address any questions that you might have about the class.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye. All right, so you guys would have gotten an announcement about clinical decision making. And I did try to map out or kind of give you a map of what the course, or not the course, but what all the assignments look like and etc. All the assignments for this module, which goes over several weeks, are open for you. They're just due at different times. So if you happen to have a 12-hour block of time that you want to do, you want to focus on that, you can do that. There are a couple of different things in that there's now I can't remember exactly what I have, so I got to look at it. But there's a group assignment where you're creating a concept map. That's a little bit different. So if you have questions, I did post a video of how to do that. But if you have questions, you can let me know. There's the worksheet, and what you're assigned to do on the worksheet is just to fill out one thing. Or it's not just one answer. It might be a table. It might be like answer a couple of questions. So it's that. There's a discussion board, and then the other thing that I don't think you'll have trouble with, but is the case report. What you're doing with that is using your Word that you have on your computer, your whatever word processing tool you have, and you're using highlighters. If you have trouble with that, just contact me and we'll do a screen share and I'll show you how to do that. So you have all the data, you're just then highlighting what's objective, what's subjective, what's, I can't remember the other two categories. One was pain and I don't remember the other one. So it says underline or do this, and you're just using your tools you have on your computer. And then back to the assignments. The other one is you're going to do a Jamboard. That's a group assignment. And then the other is it's called Create Your Own Adventure. You see my air quotes here? Create Your Own Adventure. So you're working through the nursing process, and it's a virtual escape room, so to speak. You choose one of 3 patients, and then once you pick your patient, then you're going to work through the assessment of the patient, the history, the assessment, and then you decide which nursing diagnosis you want to prioritize, and then you'll move into actually going through the steps of that. It's, I think you'll enjoy it. You can give me feedback later if you think that didn't help you, let me know. But it's really a way of working through the nursing process. We don't meet again in person for 2 more weeks, right? June 29th. So when you're doing your color in your schedule, you can devote the 2 hours of 1 to 3 just on doing your critical thinking work. Okay. Anybody have any questions for me? It's hard with everybody muted because then I don't know if you have questions. Otherwise, we're done. I will post this. Usually it downloads to my computer and then I will post it to, I put it on my YouTube because it just takes up less space that way, and then post it. Makes it easier for you to listen to later if you want to. Okay? Everybody good?
Okay.
Have a good week. Think about me tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm having my surgery, but you know.
Good luck with your surgery.
Thank you. I'm sure it's going to be great. I'm COVID negative. They made me do a COVID test. It's negative, so. All right.
It's always a good thing.
Always a good thing, exactly. All right. Thank you guys. See you in a couple weeks.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.